I get a lot of questions about hearing loss and what we can do to possibly help ourselves. And what is hearing loss? And what is age-related hearing loss? And some of you might know that my mother had lost her hearing when she was 8 years old due to a reaction to an ototoxic drug that was given to her, just an antibiotic, but it was ototoxic. There are many antibiotics, a whole field of them that are ototoxic. They're also given to dogs when they have an ear infection, and the side effect of that antibiotic is ototoxic. Go figure. And then the dog loses their hearing overnight. That happened to one of our dogs, and that happened to another one of our dogs with another situation, and I was able to remedy it, but it took me about 3 months to get her with her hearing back. So, hi Susan, I'm talking about hearing loss, and this is a really near and dear subject to me because when my mother lost her hearing, it became a lifelong thing. When Moshe Feldenkrais gave my mother a lesson and worked so softly on the base of her neck, and I watched this lesson and I couldn't figure out, is he bored? Is he dilly-dallying? What's he doing? Except that I knew he loved my mother so much. She was his little cousin and he loved her dearly. And my mother got her hearing back. She went from like 87% loss at that time to 100% of her hearing back for a solid year after that one session. It took me a while. I talked to Moshe about it, and what I realized and what he talked to me about was he was working her vagus nerve system. Please listen to me and don't go look up vagus nerve system. Don't go look up other people where they're talking about all their techniques. Listen to what I have to say and don't bother with whatever information is out there, because what is so important to understand, what happens with hearing loss as we get older? Why, when we get older, is there hearing loss? If we are not consistently around loud bombing noises, loud vacuums, loud concerts, so if that's the case, why are we still getting hearing loss? And here's my thinking, and here is my belief, here is my understanding, here is my science, and I have practiced this on my own private clients, and voila, what a help. So we work softly along the base of the skull. Why? Because these important cranial nerves exit from the base of the brain. They travel along the neck. What happens as we get older? We tend to get a posture that's more forward. We're straining these muscles that are on the back of the skull where they meet the neck. And so these nerves that travel down the neck and also travel to the face, travel to the eyes, that's the trigeminal nerve, I love that one, and travel to the ears from the inside out and the outside in, are stretched, pulled, yanked, demyelinated, affected. They get tweaked and pulled from carrying this posture. Does that mean you have to go to someone to take the broom and put it behind your shoulders and lift yourself up? No, it's not about forcing anything. It's about softening, and using this very gentle touch of like Intelligent T-touch, where we do this soft touch, and understanding in the Feldenkrais method way of working with ourselves, how we can move. So look, I can put my hands, I'll put my thumbs on my collarbones and my pinky fingers along my jawline. And I can move my head a little bit forward and back and a little bit sideways. Do you see? I can move my head. And I'm not doing anything rough. I'm not doing anything hard. But I'm moving my head ever so lightly, lightly, and gently. And in that, we wake up the vagus system, which feeds back to our ears, that improves and lightens the nerves. It puts light back into the nerves and gets them to be functioning. Now, Susan is asking, what about nerve deafness? It depends Do they know for a fact that it really is nerve deafness? What caused the nerve deafness? Is it an infection? Is it that there was an infection in the ears and the tympanic brain, the membrane, the eardrum is thickened? That's a different thing. But for most people, it's not a thickened membrane. It's the nerves that are leaving the base of the brain that receives the ability to hear that travel to the ears. And when those are stretched, yes, see, even Susan is saying that her husband, when he was younger, on antibiotics, streptomycin, that was the one that did it for my mom. And for one of our dogs, it was gentamicin. So any of those in the mycin. So let's say the person had it. It doesn't mean the nerves are dead. It doesn't mean the nerves are dead. What we can do is we work with softening the skin, the tone of the skin. We can do this on our dogs who have deafness. We can do this on our kitties who have deafness. We can do this on ourselves when there's hearing loss. And we work to soften the tissue. Soften the tissue. Soften the tissue. And when we get that, and the muscles at the base of the skull to soften, and we do the softening touch that is oh so light along there, and then along the sternocleidomastoid. I like to call that the ballerina muscle, this one right there, and it travels. So it goes to the sternum, the clavicle, as in sternocleidomastoid, to the mastoid bone. And it connects there, and it allows for our head to bend and turn and do all this stuff. But often that muscle is really, really tight. And that's why there's all these techniques out there, which are ridiculous. Don't listen to them. Don't look at them, because they go too deep and they could cause damage, and they could even cause damage to the carotid artery. Oi, oi, oi. So softness, gentleness here, and the breathing, and getting the head to be able to be this young bobblehead, moving again, right? And that breath. This will be huge, and it can help so much. And here I'm looking in the messages. Sarah says that her jaw gets so tight from wearing the mask. Oh my goodness, that was a specific for me the moment I first put on the mask 2 years ago. Anything that touched me here, it was like clenching. And I'm like, how could I be clenching? It's touching the nerves. It's touching the nerves to the face. So immediately when those nerves are being activated, you feel the activation in the jaw, even if you aren't clenching. But those nerves are the clenching activation nerves. So this is what is so important. The soft touch, the soft touch, the soft touch. That's the thing you want to do. And it's a little bit of a circle and a quarter. Notice how you're breathing. Pay attention to the look on your face. Make it easy. Make it simple. Make it with breath. And be aware of the attitude you have in you. Why? Because all of this is part of the vagus system. So please, it's so simple. Don't go Google it. Don't look it up and follow all the other people with all their other techniques. It's simple. Breathe and light touch. It's the most important thing. And think of what you're thankful for when you're doing the touch. Because in that lightness, you wake up the whole system to function better. And when that happens, the nerve to the ear, the nerves to the ear work better. They can conduct, because the head can bobble. You're in this place. This easiness is happening, and the nerves will function better. How do I know this? I saw this happen with my mother, who was deaf. And I saw this happen with Malka, our Black Standard Poodle, who at 18 years old was deaf, and I just worked along the base of her skull. And I do it on my kitty because he's 19. This is for everybody. So take it. We'll make another video, and I'll show you more. Have a good day. Make it simple, make it easy, and make it doable, and make your life fantastic.